If Americans think of it at all, they think of it as little more than a curious foreign spectacle featuring overweight men crashing into each other. For the Japanese, sumo is much more than just their national sport. Legend has it that the very origin of the Japanese race depended on the outcome of a mythological sumo match. The respected martial arts of judo and jiu-jitsu have their roots in sumo. Many of the sport's rituals are based on Shinto religious doctrines and were first practiced by samurai warriors. Today as ever, sumo wrestlers, or rikishi, are formidable athletes who are thought of as supernatural in their homeland. They train tirelessly and dedicate their lives to preserving 20 centuries of tradition and spirituality. A delegation of 40 rikishi came to the U.S. to compete in the first official sumo match on American soil. Heading the group was Akebono, the first American to be named Yokozuna, or Grand Champion of the ancient sacred sport of sumo.
When I first heard about sumo coming to America, one of my goals was, it wasn't actually a goal, it was like a dream, and I'm just happy that I would be able to do my doe in front of all the American people.
It was awesome. There were 40 of them, and they were spread out through the whole airplane. They're very kind and rather humble. Biggest things I've ever seen. They eat hearty. So normally when we serve everyone, then that's the end of the meal service, but in this case we served everyone and went back and served everyone because they eat twice as much. And then they sleep a lot so that it doesn't get worn off.
For Akebono, who's the Grand Champion, first American ever to be promoted to Grand Champion, this is a very significant event.
Nice to be here, Santa.
It's the first time for him to be performing. It's the first time that an American Grand Champion has ever performed in the United States.
In the old days, it was a sport for the elder people and much more people of Japanese culture. But now that the sumo wrestlers themselves are getting younger, it's becoming more popular to younger Japanese girls, which is attracting a lot of attention there. So I think it's changing with the new fans with a new age.
Konishiki, who's the American who's ranked at the second level or champion Ozeki ranking, also I think feels a lot of pressure to perform well in front of the home crowd.
It's like a homecoming thing for me. It's just great to be back in the States, you know. Hope that the American people get to know and understand the sport itself. It's very old and historic, it's traditional, and those sort of things. You know, you have to take them back, all the way back, to make them understand the roots of sumo. It's a very big boys who are very gentle and yet at the same time very rugged and strong. So you're looking at a combination of a gentleman, like the beast.
The thing is, I think a lot of the characteristics that we sort of typify if we stereotype, Japanese in terms of their loyalty, their sense of order, their work ethic, their all of these kinds of things, all of those things are really magnified in sumo. And that's why I think, sumo, in their minds, and really you can see, represents kind of the soul of Japan.
The spirit of sumo is contained in the most basic elements of the sport. The wrestling ring, or doyo, is made from pure compressed earth. The search for the perfect soil lasted months and ended on the fertile land of a Japanese-American farmer.
This was designated as a spot. My soil was just what they were looking for. And being a person of Japanese ancestry, I felt, well, anything I can do, I'd be glad to help out.
The soil needs to be pure because the wrestler is practically naked and vulnerable in the match, which is only a few seconds long. The wrestler's whole life is concentrated on those few seconds, so the situation must be completely pure. The doyo is a very important part of the sumo match. The work of crafting the doyo to exact specifications was a collaboration between the officials of the Japanese Sumo Association and the American volunteers. Many of the tools used to shape the doyo are modeled after implements that were designed to build the first doyos some 20 centuries ago.
You know, we knew all along we were producing an ancient sport that was 1,500 years old with all this ritual and all this tradition, but the thing I don't really think I understood too much until they got here and we started working with them was that the kind of structure and in a way the kind of fanaticism that it takes to preserve a tradition like that. Everything is done in this kind of traditional primitive way. So in a modern world you have this kind of primitive little tribe that exists and you're having to deal with that all the time, you know. And it's almost a whole cosmology and in the sense that there are religious foundations to it. There's this obsession with cleanliness, there's an obsession with hierarchy and rank, and there's an obsession with order, and all of these kind of things that you find in a tribe.
これはね、清めの儀式といろんなことをやりましたけども、
The purpose of the ceremony was to purify the doyo and to make it safe for the wrestlers. The salt is used to purify the atmosphere and also to exorcise demons, as is the sake. In the middle of the doyo is a landing area, so that the gods may come and land and stay with us, as we pray to them for a good and safe tournament, in which the wrestlers fight hard, fight fairly, and stay free from injury. As was the custom 20 centuries ago, the sumo tournament was celebrated with musical concerts and dramatic offerings. For first-generation Japanese Americans, it was a reawakening of some nearly lost memories. For many others, it was an introduction to customs they'd only heard about.
This is something that I've never really learned too much about, so it's definitely a learning experience for me and my family, and it's definitely an honor to be here and watch such a prestigious event take place and to see these top world sumo wrestlers here all in San Jose. It's incredible.
For Konishiki, the Hawaiian-born ozeki, or second-level champion, it was a chance to explore American culture in a way he never had before.
It's kind of unbelievable. I cannot believe I'm going in there. I passed through here when I was in high school. It's my first time in the American Stadium.
Okay, who's this for?
This is Konishiki, who's throwing at the first pitch. Okay. Famous sumo wrestler.
Okay, go to players live.
Can't beat these, huh? Can't beat these.
The response in Japan to Konishiki's outgoing nature has been controversial. He has a tendency to be more outgoing than the other Rikishi.
Come on, big fella. Let me see if I can hug you. I don't know if I can hug him or not. Oh, man, okay, that's enough. Strong, man. Strong dude.
When Konishiki won his third tournament as a champion, he immediately became a candidate for promotion to the exalted rank of Grand Champion. There were some people in Japan who were taken aback by that because of Konishiki's personality.
Pleasure to meet you. How's everything going? All right. Nice meeting you. Doing all right?
Yeah, all right.
Good. I'm not going to ask you to take me on now.
Konishiki! Hey, yo, autograph, Konishiki!
He's not a typical sumo personality. He's not reserved. Sumo and Japanese language, for that matter, came very easily and quickly to him, and some Japanese were taken aback by that. And I think that there was some resistance to considering him as a grand champion because he has that different kind of personality. A grand champion is supposed to represent a certain form of behavior as well as a certain level of achievement in Japan. So there was some resistance to that promotion, and I think he understood that, or it is reported that he made comments to the effect that it was a racial response, that people just didn't want to make a foreigner a grand champion. But I think Akebono, who was just recently promoted to grand champion, is a very different kind of personality. He really does reflect the character and the mien of a grand champion, and I don't think they had any difficulty at all promoting him.
We met in Japan. I tried to tell y'all that. What's up, baby? How you doing?
All right.
I told you still gonna fight me. Fight me.
After we retire, that's why.
Look at my boy, man. Look at him. I still kick his butt.
Wrestling, look at him.
That's boxing.
That's my boy, though. My boy, I love him.
If the Japanese take exception to Konishiki's style, Americans seem to really appreciate it.
Great pitch.
Thank you.
Sumo wrestlers work out for 6 hours every day. Maintaining their size is an integral part of sumo training. Their main diet consists of a traditional stew called chanko nabe, eaten with bowls of white rice. Even though there was a match immediately following the ball game, Konishiki had to sample his favorite American food.
Hot dogs, baby. Baseball, apple pies, and hot dogs. Gonna have this for breakfast tomorrow, too.
For the sumo wrestler, of course, weight is a very important weapon in winning and losing. That belly can be used to lever your opponent out of the ring or to push him out of the ring. And the wrestlers eat and drink a great deal of stew that's prepared, a lot of vegetables. It's just that they eat a tremendous quantity of it with tremendous quantities usually of rice. And then they go right to sleep afterwards, which helps keep that weight on. They train all morning before they eat. And so what you have here are superbly conditioned athletes, very muscular and strong, some of whom are covered with fat over that tremendous musculature. And so what you have is someone like Konishiki, for example, weighs 575 pounds. It's astonishing to see the speed with which he can move and his mobility. Now, he's a very extreme example. The average sumo wrestler weighs about 330 pounds and can really move around.
This was Konishiki's second matchup in day one of the tournament.
And now, nearly 600 pounds of Konishiki.
Tachi-ai. Here they go. He did come frontally at Konishiki. He got both arms inside. He's pushing Konishiki back. He is pushing Konishiki back. Konishiki's resisting. And the smaller Nami no Hana drives Konishiki out of the ring. And that's a show of how aggressive attacking and moving forward can carry the day, as Konishiki is upset by Nami no Hana.
So Konishiki was eliminated from the first day of competition by a man nearly half his size.
That's the hardest part about Sumo, because it's like 24 hours you'd be thinking about this match, and you can lose like a second. And you know, all this 24 hours just go boom, you just lose everything, you know. And back again, you have to get back on track and think about tomorrow. And this goes on and on and on. Oh, that's life, man. You win some, you lose.
There's a tremendous sense of order and rank in sumo. Tsukabito are attendants who are responsible for dressing and caring for the upper-level wrestlers. Those who do their jobs and are patient will ascend through those ranks. Referees also have a hierarchy that comes with time. This particular Gyoji has been in sumo since the age of 12. My principal role in the doyo is to excite the wrestlers at the different stages of the match. When they first enter, I call out their names. As the wrestlers face each other to prepare for the match, I say something to help them to prepare emotionally, to build their anticipation. As the bout begins, I will shout continually that the match is still not over, so that the wrestlers will give everything they have. When the match ends, we make the most important call of who has won and which division they are from. The knife that we carry into the ring originally was actually used to commit harakiri if the referee made a mistake or bad call. This is no longer the case. Today the knife is only a symbolic part of our dress. It symbolizes the importance of our job and is only worn by the two highest men in the ranks of referees to show our seniority.
It's not my impression that either the wrestlers or the public as a whole are much bothered by the fact that Akebono is non-Japanese. I think they have a lot of respect for him. I think they, particularly because he's achieved a lot under difficult circumstances as a foreigner in Japan, I don't think they hold it against him. I think they're wild about Takanohana, who's probably going to be the next grand champion because he's good-looking and he's young and he's extremely talented, but I don't think they hold it against Akebono at all.
After some 30 process of elimination matches in day one, the final bout was between Akebono and Takanohana, who recently defeated Akebono in a 15-day Basho, or tournament in Japan.
Akebono driving it back, turning red. Both of them turning red. As he moves Takanohana towards the edge. He's trying to hoist him over the edge. And finally he does. Akebono has paid back the compliment by taking the measure of young Takanohana.
And our first night's champion is the fellow who came in as champion, Akebono.
And the winner, Akebono. I was pretty nervous today. Well, we came this far, and this is the first time I'm wrestling, in the country that I was born in. So it really meant a lot to me.
Akebono was one with his American supporters, so he got tremendous strength from them because this is his homeland. I am very pleased that the Americans are having this opportunity to appreciate and understand the ancient sport of sumo, and especially pleased that I can be part of the experience. The champion celebrated his victory in the first round by touring San Francisco with the other Rikishi, including Takanohana. The men of sumo are very accustomed to traveling together. In Japan, after a 15-day tournament, they will go on a jungyo, or tour of the countryside, giving exhibitions and holding their extensive practice sessions each day. The San Jose Basho was condensed into 2 days, so there wasn't time for extensive training or exhibitions.
The fresh crabs, luckily right now, are in good supply. But I think we pretty much got everything that was left in San Francisco and possibly maybe even Northern California today for this group. They eat so much. Crabs we brought in for them were all 3 or 4 pounds. Normally we serve them about 2 pounds each, which would be a meal. And some of them, after they finished the crab, came in and asked if they can order a full-size New York steak on top of it. The melons that we brought in for them also were the largest that I could find. Not only that, they wanted a full portion of ice cream with that for their dessert. Very healthy appetite. Somebody asked me, was it fun watching them eat? And it was. I was curious to see whether or not they were going to use the crab cracker. They're such big guys, I didn't think they would need the crab crackers to crack these crabs. But they ate. And they ate a lot faster than I could ever eat a 4-pound crab, that's for sure.
Sumo is used as a model of proper decorum for all of Japanese society. A sense of humility and respect for your opponent permeates each of the sumo rituals and traditions. A grand champion, or division champion, will bow and serve water to the lower rikishi, in the same way as the champions are served by the lower echelons.
This is a dramatically special moment in this sport.
We are now ready to begin today's semifinals. To the west, Konishiki, and to the east, Akebono.
The crowd favors Akebono.
Konishiki and Akebono, both from Hawaii. Konishiki, the first ever to achieve the rank of champion on the right. Akebono, the first non-Japanese ever to reach the rank of Grand Champion on the left.
Japan is thought of as the culture that stands on ceremony, and nowhere is this more evident than in sumo. As the two fighters square off against each other, they perform several rituals that are essential to the sport. They first toss salt into the ring as a way of purifying the moment. They perform specific dance-like gestures that help awaken the gods and rid the doyo of demons. Then they stare each other down in an attempt to intimidate the opponent. They can repeat these steps as many as 3 times before they are ready to fight.
Not yet. They have a little more time to prepare themselves. Konishiki turning red. Here we go. There's a charge. Oh, tremendous hit in the center of the ring. Akebono's thrusting attack method. He's trying to move Konishiki. He's trying to move him. Konishiki immovable. He's trying again. Konishiki utterly unmovable. Akebono trying to drive forward. He's outweighed by 100 pounds. Konishiki driving him back. Konishiki, oh, Akebono hangs on. They're locked in the center of the ring. He tries to move Konishiki again. Konishiki unmovable. He powers Akebono back. He's got him at the edge, and he drives the Grand Champion out of the ring. Konishiki, an immovable force in that bout, drives Akebono to his first defeat here in San Jose.
As the winner of this one will go against Akebono for the overall championship. The crier calls out the names of the 2 sumotori. Each of the men more fatigued than they might normally be for a bout of this importance, because normally they only come together once a day, but each has had to wrestle several times to get here.
Masashi Maru, another top-ranked Hawaiian, faced Konishiki for the second-day championship. The winner of this match would face Akebono, winner of day 1, for the Basho championship.
There's a charge. Sashimoto across quickly, latches onto the belt. Working his hand back on Konishiki. Konishiki tries a right arm throw. They're not just standing there, they're putting forth a tremendous amount of effort.
At the same time trying to figure out what weakness they can find.
They're moving their hips for leverage, and now Konishiki just barrels Musashi Maru back and out of the ring. So Konishiki is the winner of the second day.
At this point, it was guaranteed that the winner of the first Basho in the United States would be an American. This is a dramatic turnaround in what until a few decades ago was an exclusively Japanese sport.
Final, to the west, Konishiki, and to the east, Akebono. A change of referee to Shonosuke Kimura.
Konishiki is, despite his 575 pounds, a remarkable athlete. Not only enormously strong, but I've seen him run. And he can run, and you wouldn't think 575-pound anybody could run. He can move. Akebono, of course, was a basketball player in high school.
Konishiki, only moments after defeating Akebono and another opponent, would fight the Grand Champion for the championship of the San Jose Sumo Basho. This would be his third bout in 10 minutes. In a traditional basho, each wrestler would only have one bout per day.
1,100 pounds of man about to slap into one another with the great tachi-ai possible.
That's right.
This will determine the champion. Overall, here at the San Jose Sumo Basho.
Here they go. Akebono comes across fast. He twists Konishiki around and drives them out of the ring. So Akebono, upholding the prestige of the Grand Champion, wins the San Jose Sumo Basho.
A change of tactics does it. Akebono, no longer willing to lock up with the huge Konishiki, does a reversal, gets around it, and we have determined our overall winner.
For Akebono, who had risen through the ranks as an outsider, the victory in his own country was significant. It was a merging of the worlds that comprised his life, the one he grew up in, and the other he had accomplished so much in, rising to the highest level of achievement possible. For him and the other participants and spectators alike, it was a chance to share a cultural exchange that would be unique in their lifetime.
To order video cassette copies of Sumo Basho, call 1-800-876-2447. Production of Sumo Basho is made possible through the support of Lam Research Corporation, offering advanced semiconductor processing solutions to customers worldwide, and by SMOS Systems, designers and marketers of low-power semiconductor products.